+1.
I think Liquid should just take the Brood here. I honestly think the Brood is favored versus Morph from what I've seen. And I think it's just I think it's going to end up being the best of the tournament. But they end up taking the Morph.
Brood is the first hero out of all the most picked to have 60+% win rate. She's like the 10th most picked with.
I think now Quest just easily they just take Brood plus some ranged hero. Even Brood Snap, but Brood Skywrath, Brood Rubik if they want it, just any ranged hero, and just laying out the Brood.
Yeah, the fact that he's not going to have Undying to babysit him here.
Yep, Brood Rubik. Now Liquid kind of can pick whatever they want. I would say Spirit Breaker is probably one of the better heroes versus Brood. It also is a body for Morph in the lane. The other one would be like Clockwork is common with Morphling, but you don't really like that versus Brood because he can just walk over the cogs. And if they don't really want to take the Spirit Breaker right now, it's probably just some Nisha Ember Spirit.
I think there's a good chance they actually move the Morph in the mid. Not right now, but
yeah.
In the draft. I think, I mean, they've done it on Nisha before, and it's really good against noob heroes, I think, on average.
Yeah,
yeah.
And I think it's better to find a hero that answers the Brood later on.
Like, I think there's going to be like a 8th overall pick or 7th overall pick Terrorblade.
Yeah, I can see it. I think the reason why I like the Brood versus Morph is because Morph really wins in these lanes where he doesn't get kicked out. And he just sits in this lane for like 8 to 10 minutes, exists in front of his tower by himself, holding it off from like 1, 2, 3 heroes. And Brood is the best hero ignoring a tanky hero, just destroying the tower spiders. There's the Ember.
They did the complete opposite.
Yeah, they just instantly take their
already locking it in. So they're definitely never going to get the Ember in the second round. That hero is pretty consistently banned out against Liquid. Nisha's had insanely high impact. We saw him absolutely demolish Kiyotaka earlier.
In the Ember Pango, yeah. Do you know if Noob is a Huskar player? I wouldn't assume so based on his pool.
I have not seen him play it at all. And he had to have had an opportunity at this point.
There's so many Embers. Ember's probably one of the most picked mids, I'd say, this tournament. It's just a very simple mid to pick. It's strong lane, very stable, good versus a lot of the meta heroes. Except the Morphling matchup can go kind of weird, but he has the Morph, so it's all
Ember
good.
is the second most picked hero of the tournament. Rocking a straight 50-50 win rate.
Pretty respectable to be second most picked.
I'm surprised they don't value Nisha Morph as much as I would expect them to. Probably because of this, very heavily rotating mid-meta nowadays. That's why he's not playing as much, but when I play with him in secret, every time Nisha got a morphing, I would just be like, we won. Like straight up.
Just like, I did
so
not
confident.
feed and not be so heavy this guy can't carry my ass.
Well, okay. Is there no possibility that Mickey takes Ember safe lane?
There's a slight possibility, but I don't think it's...
I see what you did there.
A sleight of fist possibility?
Sleight of fist possibility.
I saw that.
I don't...
do it on purpose?
I did do it on purpose,
Nice.
but I don't think it's their best option. I think they should just put the Ember mid, get him high levels early game, good lane, and he could just rotate into the Brood's lane pretty early on, and the Morph can take the mid from the Ember, but you want this Ember to have a strong early game. And I actually think Brood kind of might crush him if he goes into the safe lane. I believe Beast Coast has been running a lot of like Dark Mago going safe lane Ember Spirit.
He did not do well in those games in terms of the lane.
Yes, and the lanes always went pretty bad, so I think Liquid's probably would be better because mid game is more comfortable, and the mid player would go mid and the carry would carry.
Right.
I still don't think it's their best option.
Yeah, I'm fine if they don't. I was actually thinking Coddle. I didn't even notice it already got banned. That'd be cool if they were to do
Yep,
this.
Coddle Ember.
Yeah, Coddle Ember. But maybe we'll see a Mirana from Liquid. They do love their Ember Mirana. Just very easy plays. They really value their 3-man gank squad. So if they have the Ember, you have to immediately think of straightforward follow-up. Mirana. What else is there?
Some Skywrath Mage.
Skywrath Mage.
I think Quest is going to ban Sky and take Storm on 15. They already banned the Ench to kind of disable this Storm getting destroyed at level 5. And Anti-Mage is banned by Team Liquid. But I think Storm is one of the better mids versus Morphling, because also the Orchid build is really potent right now versus Ember and Morph.
Even without like a Pugna?
Yeah, I think they might just end up picking it. It kind of fits their draft. It gives the catch that Brood wants. It's a pretty stable lane versus Ember. It goes both ways. It's not a stomp for the Storm, but he's happy enough. And I think that the other lanes that could stomp Ember don't seem great, because most of the heroes that stomp Ember are like carries. You know, it's like Shadow Fiend, Huskar, stuff like that. And you don't really want those heroes with Brood.
Don't know why.
You can potentially look for Primal Beast and Tiny as well, but in this lineup.
I could see Tiny. I think Ember is one of the better mid versus Primal, so I think he'll want to dodge it. I know Nothing to Say plays that matchup pretty well from the Primal Beast side, but from my experience, I think Ember's actually really good versus Primal.
Yeah, I mean, he owns him on the lane, but then Primal Beast just roams on the side lanes, and he just destroys the side lanes. And he's not really suffering that much against Ember on the mid lane, so he doesn't like have the potential to be roaming after.
Well, Neil asked you, why is Invoker dead here?
Yeah, why is Invoker dead?
So many things. The Cold Snap nerf. They removed, I think, most simplest answer is he was exclusively good last match as Exort.
Yeah.
Going like this kind of scaling build, and they removed the 80% bonus damage on Meteor Talent at 20. So now, back in the past, the timing was always like, you tell your team, like, guys, I'm going to get Blink, BKB, Hex, level 20, and the game ends.
And I will get one-shotted as the carry player.
And the game will end.
Right.
But nowadays, you don't really have this late game timing because you don't have the Meteor Hex timing, so it's kind of, you don't scale as well. Quest take the snap.
This is like from a mile away. They saw this coming, right?
Yeah, I was honestly worried about them taking this. I know this matchup used to be really good for snap. It would destroy Ember in the lane, but
you don't think that's the case anymore?
I think it still is really good versus Ember. I've seen the matchup go slightly more even the more people play it from the Ember side, but I just don't think it really fits. Like, I'm just worried that Liquid is going to pick some roaming mid, and they're just going to kind of spam run at Snap, and Snap doesn't really deal that well with getting ran at. You always want to do the running at the other team.
I would like Spearbreaker here. We mentioned it earlier on in the draft.
I would also really like Spearbreaker.
That's such a good like third hero to throw into the mixer. You just have to be a bit careful about the bash with the arrow. You know, a little bit of.
I also think Rubik honestly ends up being one of the better supports for Spearbreaker. It's really easy to buy Jules on Rubik because he has bonus cast range.
That's a good one too.
Okay. That's the other kind of pseudo Spearbreaker hero.
That hero has not been doing well this tournament, though.
It has not, and I also, honestly, I think the matchup for Rubik is really bad, because if you ever give up Glimpse, it's like a crazy spell for Rubik to have, because he already has a stun, so he doesn't need to waste it. He has so much cast range.
I would say there's not a single non-ultimate spell in the game that changes the way the other team has to play more than Glimpse.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Like, the definition of positioning is, like, thrown out the window. Where you were 5 seconds ago is out of position.
Does Quest ever play the Snap on support?
I don't think so.
At this tournament, they gave it to Omar one time.
One time.
They play it one time.
But other than that, it's always noob.
Radiant's turn.
They should just put it mid. They should pick like a Shadow Demon.
Yeah, just a nice little save. And now they're kind of all in on this one combo for Liquid. Like, you kind of have to chuck out your spells on the guy they stun. They don't really have a choice, so.
Even if it like, dodges the Glimpse, so it'll save the Disruption, yeah.
Disruption dodges?
Yeah.
Yes.
Does OD in prison dodge too?
Yes.
Yeah, banishes.
I hate this game.
You have to be like hidden. Yes. So Phase Shift, Disruption, and OD banish, but not Yules because Yules is invulnerability, not hidden.
And Sleight of Fist also hides.
Sleight of Fist. No, it just forcibly teleports to the end.
Yeah.
But, like Dissimulate as well from Void Spirit.
Yeah,
it's like clearly hidden.
Okay. So I was thinking, you know, in those movies where they extract people's like thoughts and use them, like download them somewhere.
Okay.
You'd be a fantastic website. If we were to like suck
that an insult?
I'm saying to suck the knowledge out of your head and just put it on a website for Dota. It would have everything. Who needs Google when you can just use gunow.com?
Yeah, can we get Chat GP Gunner?
Yeah, Chat GP Gunner. There you go. Gunner PT.
Dota support.
That was not an insult.
All right, I'll try to
Gunner, man.
think about it as not an insult.
How is that not an insult? Did that sound like an insult?
So, I don't care about you as a
what
person,
is it?
You make a great website.
What is Liquid? They need an offlaner, something for Zai.
Yeah, back to the draft, Gunner.
Yeah. Let's move on. I don't really want to be a website right now.
Okay. It may be in the future for you.
Maybe one day.
And I think for Liquid, something like Lycan would be amazing here. Just purely because Quest supports isn't like they just hate playing against Lycan. So hard.
Yeah, Zoo's really good for them. There is Beastmaster as well.
I personally think they need a guy that like makes the Shadow Demon's job hard. That's why I like the Mars ban. Like just something that throws shit on the ground like a Tide. Like even though you're against Rubik, I think Tide would be really nice.
I think something with a stun as well, just for the lane. Just you can combo with Mirana. You get like random slower stun, so that like the Gush even is probably enough.
I would really like Tide personally.
I'd also like Tide a lot.
Not a big fan of Tide.
But they've got more if you got to turn the tides on them.
Yeah, Rezo, the lore.
Okay.
Let's see.
Is there anything Just random. There was a Primal I thought of. I think Shadow Demon's really good versus Primal, so I'm not too big of a fan.
Yeah, Shadow Demon destroys Primal.
He also doesn't see his matchup, which he usually does when he picks a Primal Beast. So it's probably just gonna be something really basic, like this Tide Hunter.
There's still also other traditional offlaners like Underlord and Darkseer.
None of those really stand out.
The hard thing is you're blind, maybe. Right? And you have a range support. You have a Mirana. You wanna give Mirana a purpose in the lane, and you also want to be a hero that can be left alone. You want to give this Mirana the ability to walk mid with.
My man Rezo.
Oh, there's the Lycan.
I'm liking
there,
prediction,
Brian.
my friend.
I'll be there to help you out.
That's why you're here. I mean, I'm the dead weight in the backpack, and you're just carrying me around. Thanks, buddy.
Probably Terrorblade.
The supports don't like dealing with Lycan.
Not
Does
just
that change?
Either, no.
He just said Terrorblade. Let it. Why is it going to be Terrorblade?
Because it's really good against Lycan. He has Shadow Demon to support him. It's,
fantastic.
I don't know, guys.
It's because when Terrorblade presses Reflection on Lycan, he steals all the auras, including the plus 40% damage aura.
And Terrorblade has a lot of base damage, which is a lot of damage.
Yes, because
Metamorphosis is base
damage from Metamorphosis. Yeah,
absolutely.
In fact, that's how it works.
Yep. I finished your sentences or sandwiches or whatever it is. Neil?
What's up?
I think you're supposed to ask us a question at this point. I don't know what we're supposed to talk about.
You can ask him.
Neil, what are we supposed to talk about right now?
We're supposed to talk about your predictions. Quest Esports versus Team Liquid. You see all 10 heroes on the board. Brian, which lineup do you prefer?
I'm going to have to go with Quest, even though I said Liquid at the start. I think their draft is better.
I think so silent.
Because he's sad about
bubbling about this.
I'm a Liquid fanboy. Like, these are my boys. So
I like Liquid draft, personally.
Tell me why I can be happy.
I think that the collapse on mid favors Liquid more than it favors Quest. And I think the collapses on mid are really impactful in this tournament, like the 3v3 at the 6, 8, 10-minute marks. And I think that the Ember Miranda Disruptor will win it.
Okay. Rezo, who do you like?
I'm gonna go with the heart. Quest Esports. I'm gonna take this one and proceed to the Tundra.
He's putting his hands up. He's on the roller coaster just like all of us. He's riding the wave.
Yeah, so wait, are you going with your heart or are you going with your brain?
I'm going with the heart.
Okay.
All the way with the heart. Quest Esports, one love. Let's go, Omar. Let's go, Omar.
Omar, let's see it happen. Yeah, this is the quest to make it to the International, the quest to make it to Seattle. Let's see if it'll happen in game number 3 with Cap and SVG.
Welcome to the last game of the night before we head to the final day. It is Quest and Liquid now in a single game to determine who's going to be moving on to the lower bracket finals to match up against Tundra. And we have a draft that looks relatively even. Our panel was at least split on this fact. Avery, where do you sit?
Oh man, I like just have.
Yeah, you do hate that hero right now.
Hate that hero.
That hero has not been doing great.
Burning passion in my heart. I don't know, man. I feel like, all right, my prediction is I think Amar carries this game.
Yeah, I don't think Amar Broodmother.
Yeah, I don't believe in the Terrorblade. I think the Terrorblade will do enough though with the Lycan Reflection to buy some time until Amar is 5-slotted, and 5-slotted Amar Brood is gonna take. That's what I think. Unless this Lycan just runs over the supports and they snowball off it. I don't know, man. I feel like Quest are just gonna get top 2 at this major. I think it's like it's some weird destiny, some weird dial of destiny that was turned years ago. Amar has come for his.
Or are they gonna get number 1 for themselves TI slot?
They get TI if they're top 2.
Okay.
So I think it's Amar's revenge party, you know? Like, oh, none of you wanted to work with me. I work with myself.
For my own team. And what a team it has been. What a rise they have experienced over the last month or so. Pretty good performance during the DPC. Fantastic performance after that in the qualifiers, and going now into the BALI Major. They have been quite a strong team to take on. It's come down to, we ended our Game 2 segment talking about the fact that the late game matchup was very important. How do you feel about it here?
That's where I have faith in the Brood. I think the Brood can carry this late. with the snap fire too.
Glimpse early on a TA-2000. No attempts at necessarily getting a kill off an arrow or anything, just kind of kicking him out of lane. So maybe just trying to set up for a stronger laning phase for Lycan.
Yeah, he's gonna have to TP. There's a lot of regen burn. Click the reflection level 1. Normally when you play with this reflection level 1, you want to be full so you can just run up and get some extra hits in while they're slowed. Starfall for Boxy means he will be able to trade with the Wolves level 1 as well. This game looks like it should be free farm for Zai. I don't see Quest punishing him. Maybe the level 2 with meta or the level 3 with the Shadow Poison. Still should be a good early game for Zai. The real question is, what do these mids do? Like, does Noob just get a free game and he gets to play a Snapfire, which we've seen pop off every game? Or does Nisha make more out of the Ember Spirit than he did? Because the last time I saw him play the Ember, especially versus the Brood, you remember he went the Battle Fury Daedalus builds.
Yeah.
That did not end up working and felt a little flat. So I'm curious if he goes probably Maelstrom again into what? Does he go for like a Spellcaster build? Does he try and do some weird pseudo-physical magical build again? I feel like he's not going to go for that physical.
He did have a better performance with it this morning where he went that build, the Maelstrom build, so.
Yeah, I expect that to be the case. So this might be a bit more of a well-rounded performance from Nisha. And hopefully bounce back from that game too, because that was a rough game.
Also, how does the laning phase go for him? Meta going to be used. That's going to secure first blood. Kiori is going to be the one to take the last hit. Now they're going to set up with a disruption, get in front of the Lycan. Can they get 2 kills off this one? It's looking like Zai's going to be super low. He has stick charges, and 4 stack is not nearly enough.
That's that level 2 timing of using the fact that they were ahead of Boxy here as he was late to lane. So that TP from TA-2000 pays off. Liquid cannot make anything of it, and the Lycan can't do much to help Boxy, and he doesn't have his own defensive capability. Just really nice laning Quest. Absolutely on point here. And even Noob taking a pretty big advantage in mid 15-3 to 9-0. He's definitely winning this Snapfire matchup early.
Yeah, this is a favorite Snapfire matchup, but as they were talking about on the panel, we witnessed it during the tournament. Like, we have seen certain players manage to turn this matchup a little bit more to the Ember's favor. Sumail, I think, was a great example. Didn't he play a game against Noob where he actually won the lane?
Familiar. Yeah, you can definitely go even against the Snap. I don't think you can crush it. You can go even for sure. I think that's what you would try and do in this Spirit matchup. Still, Noob pulling ahead. Decent amount of net worth advantage too, wearing through the regen. All 3 lanes going well for Quest. That is a very good sign for them. Bottom with the Blood Grenade.
Is it going to be enough? Sania keeping him out with the kinetic field. He will be fine, but it does mean Amar is completely uncontested in this lane right now.
And this lane generally feels bad for Liquid because Disruptor wants to be in a position where his carry helps him chase down heroes and you kill them with Glimpse.
Right.
I don't know if that's happening in this lane, especially when Amar's just shoving it in your face with double Wraith Band, full stick up, and a triple range creep will guarantee the Lotus here for Omar as well. Man, this dual offlane, it's so hard to beat them. They just do all the little things right on the early ways. It sets them up for success, and then they take advantage of it. More trading onto Insania, while the regen is adding up for the Brood. Disruptor's having a rough early time here, and he can't do much for Mickey other than just watch him CS, as the small camp has also been sentry.
I would say one thing that Liquid do have to their advantage is maybe the static laning phase is into their favor, but I do think I favor them when it comes to rotations. But that does kind of go back to the Ember Spirit and how good his game is, right? And how many levels he puts into the chains, because right now he wants the Flame Guard against Noob, but he also needs the chains to help Boxy secure arrow kills.
It's sometimes the Ember paradox. You want the Flame Guard to farm, push the wave in, do better in lane, and then be fatter on the map. Your team wants the chains, so you can set up the ganks and enable your supports. And a lot of times mids do not do that if they feel like they need the Flame Guard build. Or body blocks on Zai.
Pops a stick. Looks like he is going to be okay, but again, just pushed out of the lane every single time this meta is popped. And one thing to know, they talked about, Insania is going to die in the bottom lane, is the reflection interaction with Lycan, which is very interesting. If you get the Lycan illusion, he does give Feral Impulse to the owner of the illusion.
It is a huge factor in this matchup. It is a reason that I feel like for I don't know, 2 or 3 years, anytime I ever scrim hardcore EG, pick Lycan, he instantly just terrorbladed it.
Yeah.
For that alone.
I mean, hard not to when you get so much base damage out of that, and then you get another 40% on top of that.
Especially back when terrorbladed was.
Noob is going to die finally to one of those support rotations, Insania. Yeah,
it's good that Insania moved, I think. I don't think he's doing anything bottom. I think it's a dead lane for him. He can't do the pull because the Brood's constantly pushing it in. He's not helping Mickey on the wave CS at all. There's no kill threat. Time to just get out there and make something.
He's gonna get run down here underneath the tower. Yeah, EA 2000 doesn't even require the flexion, but it was coming up.
I thought this lane would be way more chill for the Lycan.
Nope.
His helmet just got mega delayed. The level 1 did not work out for them. Damn, Quest played it well. They abused every timing they had. The level 2, the level 2 meta as well, the level 3 poison stack.
Yeah.
Really just got max value out of this lane. Made it look really good. And that is the one aspect of Terrorblade I have been impressed with in this tournament is the lane winning. Particularly the CIS teams where, you know, the 9-pan example or the Fat Boom safe lane. These Terrorblades have just been owning the early game. They set you up well if you have other carries to help pick up the scale. So that's why I don't mind the pick here too much for Quest. You're gonna get the Lycan aura, you're gonna be able to push towers, you're gonna win slow down the Lycan's momentum. This Terrorblade pick is feeling great right now because you have Brood and Snap to help pick up the damage in the late game, so it's not like TA 2000 has to do everything here.
It's about the chains and arrow. See, it's still level 2 because of the bit of roaming that he's done and also the suffering that has been this top lane.
His game is abysmal right now.
Yeah.
I don't really know what his play is. Normally, even if you had arrow, you could arrow some big creeps or something to get some extra levels. Just gonna go try and take wisdom.
He's going to be playing the Wolves to stop the Shadow Demon from going through the wisdom rune. Amar, glimpse back. They have a chance to get this kill. They do. It's looking okay. Mickey doesn't have the finishing blow, though, because Amar had a bit too many stats. Something that you're going to see time and time again.
That's why right there. Extra CS, extra survivability. And on the other side,
Rune.
That is right. Boxy not secured against Kaori because he has disruption and Boxy was level 2. So he has no stun. He has nothing. Just gets out clicked. Double wisdom rune going to Quest. This Mirana is still level 2.
You're going to need some crazy kills for Liquid to turn around this experience deficit that they're in right now. Behind has to go back for the new item. He's going to be disrupted. He's going to be killed. The new rotation like this, they really don't even have to use anything for it.
They're getting way too much out of this safe lane. That's a third kill going on to the Terrorblade. 2-0-1. Easy rotation for Noob, and they're continuing to just take advantage of the fact that Boxy does not exist in this game right now. Like, look, they're missing a support.
They can't even like arrow creeps for extra experience at this point. It's awful.
And what is Nisha supposed to play with? He didn't go the chains. So he had the chains. You have a level 1 Starfall in a kinetic field.
Apparently Wolves. Wolves have been actually maybe the best rotating support for Liquid at this point.
They're pretty good in the early game. That is the good part about liking this game. The summons are pretty much unanswered from Quest, particularly on their 2 supports.
I like how these support
you're running in there.
Just make it, you know what? If our game's bad, Noob, your game is also going to be bad. We're just going to sit on your lane.
I feel like Quest responded, so they almost have level 6 on MR. Like, why not bring your supports back? Just lay some spells in Nisha. Maybe they feel like there's nothing gonna happen here anyway. Kind of rotate Noob to bottom and look for the Morph lane, kick him out of the lane. This will get a tier 1 secure for Amar. It is exploding in network. This game is looking a little rough for Liquid right now. Kind of wandering around mid lane. What do we do?
They're gonna try and take a kill on Mickey. They got him. Ooh, what a play. Nice high ground ward.
Damn.
Sneaky move by Quest.
That is a very sneaky move. They're getting the tier 1 from the creeps, by the way. That is how efficient that kill is. A carry kill plus a power, giving up some mid-tier 1 damage. Still, your Terrorblade is level 8 top versus level 5 on the left. How the hell is he so high level? It's 8.5.
Getting a lot of kills and a lot of solo experience. He has not really had his support in lane for a really long time.
Boxy's so low level, he can't even kill a courier, man. This would be the worst, like, this would be the worst situation I've seen Boxy in the entire tournament.
Yeah.
And he is one of their biggest, if not the biggest shot caller on this team. And kind of playmaker, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is bad news for Liquid. It is very hard to make up these support levels if you don't get the wisdom runes, you don't have stacks, you can't find the kills. They did not get the Wizard Rune. They have very little stacks, and the kills look far away right now.
Did you see what Amar tried to do there? He tried to slight and deny the power rune, but wasn't able to do it with the stolen slight that he has, but it was a cool attempt.
Turn Nisha's move against.
Yeah.
West pulling ahead in this early game. We're going to use it to arm up. We're going to have some fat side laners here. Lose their tier 1 mid. So that Orb of Corrosion Ember that we see Nisha put to use time and time again. We'll claim that objective.
Like, what does he do with this advantage that he has when he doesn't have supports to play around?
And see?
He should die. It's become infinitely harder for Liquid.
He needs a lot of levels. You need to change points up fast here to help enable your supports.
For sure.
These wolves are being obnoxious. That's for sure. Blocking camps, hitting supports. Kind of got to just deal with them. Death of that tier 1 mid also put Noob in an awkward position where he's kind of just been staring at this tri-lane for a while now. Like, surely we're out farming them guys, which is true.
100% true.
It's just, it does feel a little awkward for him.
Yeah, Snapfire, I mean, that was the concern for the panel, right? Is that Snapfire is not the best at dealing with a rough lane or heavy support rotations that shut him out of the game.
If you have supports to fight back, I think it can be okay. Here, yeah, his supports are pretty greedy in terms of they want the levels, so did not get the help, but let the tower die, and now quick 3-man rotation.
Trying to fish for the Terror Blade.
He's such a high level. This is a monster of a catch.
Wrong direction.
Oh, Boxing, he needed that kill so bad.
Yeah.
They're gonna go back. They
go back. The smoke is gonna run out very soon.
There's a Sunder here. He knows.
Hiding away in the trees. The TP rotation is going to come in just to make sure that, like, even if they find him there, Yori will make sure there's a disruption. They can get up a Sunder. And that gives Noob time to get off his Rod of Atos. So a lot more catch in a game where Quest probably feels a lot stronger. Yeah, especially they're fighting around Amar.
Definitely helps the Ember matchup as well. Now you have a lot more kill on. You can set up with the long range for your Rubik spells, your lift. A Shadow Demon in there. And that's also part of something Liquid's gonna have to fight through this game. You can change people up, you can arrow them, you can static storm them, you can commit on them. And what happens if they get disrupted or Rubik shard lifted later on? Yeah. You have an answer for that. Liquid. Draft-wise, no, they're gonna have to itemize for it. Quick little pick off here, post pause will continue to make Oxy's game as miserable as possible as he is to level 4.
Yeah, Omar's probably like, man, why'd we run into the Mirana? I don't want to steal those garbage low-level spells.
That's the upside. Oxy's game is so bad, it's crippling Omar's game here. It's like, I have to steal something in this game. Nobody else really has good spells. Yeah. Bro, get some levels so I can use them against you.
Don't worry, guys. I gave him level 2 Starstorm.
Perhaps this is the truly 10-head play.
Yeah.
You can't steal arrow. I don't have it.
Maelstrom complete for Nisha, so his farm is going to start picking up a bit. They also had the double lightning duo that are pretty much the only real offensive power of Liquid right now. Yori. Get a disruption. He's got two teammates right behind him. They're going to go for this kill on the Shadow Demon, but it's going to look real bad for Nisha if he doesn't have an escape remnant, which he did. Stolen glimpse, though.
That is the one spell you do not want to give away this game.
Nope.
Because you have Brood and Terrorblade who are going to be happy to gobble up the kills if you glimpse them back into them. Just looking like a very comfortable game for Quest right now.
Is he going to die like this?
He's been getting smack bottom this entire game. He's trying just to stall the Brood Mother momentum. Doesn't want to give up a free lane. Doesn't want to kill up a tier 2. Same side. And have these Quest sideliners just been pummeling them, and they have not left the lanes. That's the thing. The Terrorblade and the Brood are still just pushing waves and farming back the jungle areas. They're getting so much apart at this time.
Liquid also hasn't moved too much. They've kept their side laners. Is that more of a symptom of the fact that Quest constantly putting pressure on them, or do you feel like Liquid in some ways just doesn't have a timing?
I mean, there's not a lot else they can do. Run the Lycan mid off some smoke, but the tower's already dead. You just don't really have play options with the Lycan right now. You have to keep farming, and that's
their last smoke move didn't work. one
Field
at the land. He got the change on to Morph. Still starts coming out, and this fight is already over. Liquid has to retreat and attempt to gank on Amar. Does not work out at all. That boy is level 11.
And he finished BKB already. That was your one chance to get this fighter before the BKB will kill your gank dreams forever, I think. What do you do versus him now? This is a very smart item rush from Amar. This is not a BKB rush where he's going to be pressured to use it. The BKB that's just sitting there like, what are you going to do about it? You can't gank me anymore. You have no control. Your Disruptor's gone, Piranha's gone, your Chain Arrow's gone.
Now, on the other side, a looming threat of a Terrorblade, too big to be contained.
And look, they're still playing both side lanes here from Quest. Just not giving any space. Zai is forced out of top on a TP. This might just be the tier 1 top dead. Solo Terrorblade here.
Yeah, because you can't stop both these side lanes. You can't stop the Broodmother and stop Terrorblade at the same time.
Moxie did find levels though. He's level 6, almost 7.
Okay, gave him the mid lane for a while.
They can't fight what they can't see.
Are finding a little catch-up ability in this game. Dory in the returning glimpse.
Disrupt into kinetic field, Starstorm, and point blank arrow that was on. Oh no. Now the like is going to be forced to be used here, but it glimpse back. Fortunately, there was no other control. Zai running back through the spiders. That is kind of dangerous, but he's good in the end.
Held Dom plus 100 there as Lamar continues his assault on the tower. Has just been pushing and pushing.
Put up the electric fence. Keep him away.
Brood is he's untouchable right now. Like, you have to keep sending heat down here just to try and kill some of these spiderlings, slow down the push. Look at how many Liquid heroes keep getting brought bottom. How many are clumped down here and not getting anything out of it? It feels bad every time you have to do this.
Running around as a group, accomplishing nothing. West, spreadly farming.
The second you leave straight back in. This will be so annoying. You deal with him, and you don't have a way to kill him and get him off the map. You're just stuck in like purgatory.
Because he has the BKB, he's not afraid. Just taking the tower, killing the creep wave underneath the tier 2, high-fiving Nisha while he's sitting there.
Back, farm some camps, kill the wave, push back in, chip their tower again. Keeping 3 or 4 heroes down here. Liquid can't make any aggressive moves of their own, which means Noob and TA2000 get to clean up the map. Bots on Noob, by the way, so he can join turnaround bot and do go on the Brood. Makes it even scarier.
I can give us is a
The Mirana ult for Liquid as they try and bypass some of this vision on the map. Find something. They'll find a double damage. Pretty good.
Double damage into TA2000 King, perhaps?
Dream if they can burst him with Static Storm.
Such the dream. They have to hit this field to lock him in. They got him. Manta dodge all you want, but it's not going to stop that 8 from Liquid. So they finally get something small to work with. Well, not something small. They kill a carry, but still, it's a rather large net worth deficit that they're behind right now.
It's a lot of it. It's a big gold kill. That Terrorblade is super high level. So you're very happy on the Liquid supports to finally find something in this game. DD Rune definitely helped out there. As Kiori was nearby, maybe he could have gotten a disruption save if that kill takes a little longer. Pressure still being accumulated bottom.
R will not stop. He will take this tier 2.
There's so many spiders he has to slice through. The tower's dead before he comes out of the slice, so can't even deny it.
Yeah.
Brood is sucking the marrow out of this map right now.
Now he can kind of either keep pushing that bottom lane, start hitting tier 3, or he can maybe make the play for mid. Take away these bastions of defense that Liquid are huddled around right now.
We're still waiting for Zai to make his presence felt.
That's true. Help of the Overlord is done, and they've made the smoke play. So this is the move, kind of similar to that move on TA2000 earlier. Another one of these smokes that kind of needs to connect.
Or at least transfer into an objective. He really wants supports here. Maybe the Terrorblade again if you can get him in a Static Storm.
Gonna catch something out of this, surely. With the slip on by. Doesn't land on anything. They have the lockdown onto the Ember Spirit, but not enough damage thanks to the Static Storm. Amar has already cleaned up the Disruptor. They lose the Rubik though at the same time. Meanwhile, Shapeshift up Lycan is in pretty deep, and he's gonna have to run. Nothing else he can really do.
Quest just ready for that move.
Yeah.
TP from Amar. Clean up Insania. Don't find anything else. It's too fast. That's your Helm of the Overlord move down. Find a haste in the river. Pretty nice rune for Nisha if you didn't have to play into Shadow Demon ult. Back to farming for Quest. Looking towards Scotty on the Terrorblade and Hex on Amar. And it's going to be a fast Hex here. He is big. He's just rushing it. What do you do versus that? I feel like it's too fast for Liquid to ruin it. Wait.
Yeah, you're not going to have a lot of your defensive items yet, especially not your utility on the supports. They're operating on pretty much nothing.
And it's just death for Mickey for so long because he's going this Manta Ags build on Morphling. Build's great at going in, stealing stats from the Brood, and getting Sageful, or stealing stats from the Terrorblade and getting Meta Reflection. It does not help you versus the Brood just sitting there waiting to hex you and you getting obliterated.
Middle tower is under attack.
It might just ruin this Ags timing for Mickey, and that is a timing that Liquid are going to have to make something happen with here, it feels like, in order to contest these Roshans. He's only 900 off. Morphling's still in a very solid game, and we have seen the Water Boy work miracles.
Yeah, we are going to definitely put Morphling to the test in this game. Gonna have to do some heavy lifting. But what happens if he just gets caught out by the Scythe of Ice?
Just how broken are you? By the way, Shadow Demon Shard, also pretty decent in this game for the cleanse. On the chains,
yep.
Some random Thunderstrike. It makes Nisha's game more annoying.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Has that off the Tormentor.
This is what these games can feel like when you don't have an ability to gank and kill the Broodmother. It just makes your map very wonky. You're constantly losing a little bit of worth at a time, and you feel like this presence is just always down there that someone has to respond to, which means the moves you can make are pretty limited. It's constricted what Liquid have been able to do in the first 50 minutes here. You have a BKB on Nisha, and there is a double damage from bottom, so they can gobble that up. That makes for a pretty decent move. Maybe you can chase this Brood out of the jungle, find the Terrorblade again.
Better take it fast before Amar gets there.
Yeah, he's looking in the back, and he has Hex done. And Insania is the first victim.
Does manage to get him away.
It's just
and he's on everybody right now. He finally uses his BKB to get out of it. And field disruption set. Oh, but they're going to come back in with Yamper. The Slight doesn't actually land, though. He was still close at the time. He needs another one, but he's purged now. He's not going to catch up. Boxy's on the chase. Static Storm's going to be used on the Terrorblade. The Terrorblade gets out level, making it committing for the kill. The Silence is going to wear up. Still, the arrow comes through. It's not enough. Manta TA2000 gets off the Sunder. He's good now. And Zai has to leave the Morphling behind. He'll go for the fast kill on the Duke, but another disruption from Kaori. Keeps on getting him out. So many lost heroes. Boxy's in. He sees all these low heroes. He wants all of them, and he will get 2 of them, thanks in part to Insania, who is going to be chased down. Glimmer will not save you for long enough. 4 dead on the side of Liquid. Only the 2 on Quest.
What a sick read by Amar. He just goes at 1v4, baits everything in from Liquid, gets saved at the last minute. That uphill hit actually got missed, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yes, despite the evasion save. And then Purge on the back end to slow down the Ember. Nisha cannot commit for the chase. This man knows his limits, gets it to work, gets 4 assists out of that. And 1 team fight. TA2000 also with the Scotty or putting it instantly to use. I feel like he could have just sat there and hit the morph, because Mickey had to morph so much to strength there, he wasn't actually doing that much damage. Butterfly next for the Terrorblade here. That is going to be a guaranteed Roshan if he gets there before Liquid can make anything else happen. Man, these disruption saves have been on point. Utility's going to start coming out for the 2 supporters on Quest. Going to make the Lycans like harder, as I don't think Nullifier or Hex are coming out anytime soon from Zai in this game. Just gonna have to run him down the hard way.
Needed that coin.
Scanning for enemy.
Dagging.
Yeah. He is silently trying to climb himself back into a respectable network position. It's actually the most farmed core. Insania will get a BKB TP out from Amar.
Yeah, he just doesn't know how many people are there.
Yeah.
Don't open up roast though. Look, just going in right now.
I think they can't. Yeah, that's the plan.
All right, maybe Quest didn't want to contest that on the Radiant side. They'll definitely take it. And Carriage is just like all of his working exactly on point. This is where Mickey is just not doing enough. He is able to down base damage reduce and not finish off TA2000 away.
BALI morphing the strength too much.
I mean, I think Liquid are lucky that they got the cleanup here on Noob at the end with the supports going back in.
Yeah, seriously. Oh no, Roshan went to the other side. Awkward. Half health. Whole Liquid crew coming through. Quest. They seem to still be blind to this going on.
And they're killing the draft mid plus 250. Maybe they just don't care. Maybe they feel like it's too hard to contest with the Brood not wanting to commit all her webs up there or something. Either way, that's Butterfly done for Terrorblade, as Mickey will claim an Aegis Mortal.
Mickey being able to turn it to the Terrorblade and being free to be a little bit more risky on his agility to strength ratio. That's going to be a very hard-hitting Earthling in this next engagement with an Aegis, but does feel like Quest's team fight is much too hard for Liquid to take on in a straight 5-on-5.
I mean, they have this Rubik Shard. There's a second save, especially for the kind of combos that have been causing the Terrorblade issues. If the Terrorblade gets thrown out of the Static Storm, that's like a guaranteed Sunder. There's nothing else to really stop it in this game, and that is bad news for Liquid. It just means another life Mickey has to right-click his way through. If you're Liquid, you just need to start landing some barrels. I don't know if there's another way to say it. Foxy's gonna have to find something. He has limited setup to do it. You're gonna have to force the early saves out on an arrow connection and then be able to take the fight afterwards. Even it's gonna be a tough one. You might just need disruptor ags in this game, honestly.
Yeah, that's
the problem. Is you still have the Rubik Shard save and disruptions. Like, how do you know if that's doing anything for you here?
You need kind of like a very aggressive initiation to be able to hit multiple heroes. But then how do you do that? You don't have a traditional offlane jump hero.
Hex. And that is what Zai is building.
See a Mar here, but again, the BKB sends problem for Liquid. How do we even begin to jump this guy?
It's such a nuisance. 7K. All that lane when Quest have built up, Liquid are staying in it, and they found arm on all three of the boards. They did nothing Zai would get back to this point. He is closing in on that Hex.
Yeah, it does feel like despite a rough start, in some ways Liquid going back to like kind of Game 1's success formula, which was just, you know, play for all of our heroes scaling.
They're doing a damn good job of it. They're not forcing anything bad in this game. They're not overreacting. They're just slowly finding their farm, crawling their way back in it. In fact, they're sort of bringing the lead back slowly.
Yeah, if it stays stagnant over time, that's less and less of a percent lead.
Even the Morphling late game, here you're not in a bad spot.
It's not like Quest is lacking in late game damage. I mean, the Snapfire can turn into a menace late game if you're ahead. In this game, they are. And Amar Broodmother. We saw the Broodmother be very successful for Liquid in Game 1. Zai, outdone for Zai.
As I
The
expect.
huge items. They're going to have to take the team fight center around this. Maybe Zai gets a quick pick off on a support backline, then removes the saves. That's one way to use this. The other way is you just go on a core and commit if you think the saves are not in reach. Maybe even just throw like a static storm behind the hero.
Call it divine
Try and silence, zone out the Rubik and the Shadow Demon. I
guess so, yeah.
See what Liquid want to do with it. It's probably going to be a smoke with the wards if you have them. You have Dagon on Boxy too. Extra burst. Very bold item choice. They're going to find Amar.
Oh, again, running into Amar.
Not know this Hex is here.
Thunderbone's back, forcing to use his BKB, and this damage is maybe a little bit too much tense for him. Okay.
Nikke pumping up the damage numbers here.
That kid was worth 1354 gold.
I mean, that's stolen insatiable. That is what it does on this hero.
Yeah.
Plus, he has the Vladzor built in from Zai's Helmet Overlord. And then you get that Howl that reduces armor. Not a lot of physical mitigation on Quest right now. This Morphling, it's looking doable. If Nikke can actually just get in and start right-clicking heroes with stolen brood.
Yeah, look at him go.
A lot of damage.
Boom, boom, boom. All that fled. The percentage-based damage bonus on a hero that can just go full agility like that.
Now, Amar all chatting the Morphling damage. He felt it. He felt it for sure. Like, what is this broken ass hero? I'm sure his team's telling him, dude, you are also on a broken ass hero.
So that means quests need to be able to find some physical mitigation. Are they working towards that at least? I mean, at least the Terrorblade always has.
Yeah, Butterfly
Medication.
plus his armor is good for him, but the rest of the team, pretty susceptible. You got like 10 armor on the Snapfire. The supports are going to get howled down. And the Brood, you don't have some AC Brood.
Yeah, because
Heck,
the early scythe pickup.
So he's really squishy.
He's going to go Lincolns to stop the morph plan.
That looks like what it is. And a Reaper died on TA2000's Courier to Boxy. That's a pretty big snipe. He was finishing Satanic off that. Not going to have it for the next fight. Liquid making a game out of something that looked very rough.
Yeah, this felt like one of those 25-minute stomps, the way the laning phase went.
Even their supports have recovered. Boxy's pretty far now. This game is closing in on Nags.
Yeah, I like how Boxy just turned on farm mode, and then he was silent for like 15 minutes. We didn't hear from him. He just casually picked up a Dagon, farming up illusions.
Yeah, I'm still not 100% sure why he wanted the Dagon here. Sometimes you just feel the Dagon.
I mean, I kind of think between the Dagon and the Glimpse, they just want to keep the Terrorblade pressure off of them.
It helps a little bit. It's expensive to kill one illusion. No, I mean, you're looking at something like a Glimpse or Drum or Ghost Scepter.
West successfully dodging a move from Liquid.
Yeah, but they're the ones dodging now. Whereas 10 minutes ago, it felt like they controlled the whole map.
Yeah. But maybe they'll feel good about going back for it once they hit the link.
Mar, you're
spotted. Mar gets sight. And now, Mickey gonna turn into the Brood Mother. The damage, man! What is that?
It's so fast. He just starts hitting for 600 plus.
That's not right. That's not right.
That's Morphling Dota. That's Morphling Dota, baby. That is why you first picked this hero. It does not right things and does them quickly. As this game is starting to feel like it's turned a corner. The itemization for Quest felt great 10 minutes ago. I don't know if it feels so great now. The heroes that I think needed to scale between the Snapfire and the Brood are still missing their crucial talents, still trying to get to these damage or physical mitigation items. Whereas the Terrorblade, who I thought needed help at this point, he lost his Satanic on Courier, and all three cores from Liquid, including their supports, have caught up in this game.
Come on.
That is just not fair.
Like, great highlight. It was 2 seconds of Mickey dishing out ungodly damage.
I don't think you can give this guy insatiable in the fight. I don't think you have an answer for it.
Yeah, that's why he's trying to go that late. But that is only so much of a solution.
You can't dispel it. You can't stop it once it's out. So yeah, I'm sure it's have to prevent him getting an ult on the Brood.
He's going to have to play more of like a sneaky sleeper Brood Mother that sneaks around the back. He's going to have to stay out of sight at the start of any engagement.
Or start the fight on Mickey. Find the Hex initiation.
Sure.
That's pretty damn nice too.
Raise no
And
hand in
Liquid's
anger
resilience.
pass himself.
This was looking like a rough one. And now they might just be in the lead. Shiva's finished for Nisha.
They're about to be in the net worth lead for like the first time this game. Oh, it ticked over for a second there.
Well, there it goes. They have brought it back completely. Satanic finished for Mickey. The lifesteal is absolutely out of control between that and Insatiable if you give it to him. There is a Lincoln's on Amar to try and deal with that. And the Satanic for TA2000 also got blown out.
Time to fight Boxy is going to be psyched up. No way out of this.
And an arrow steal.
Nice pickup.
Really big spell here, considering you can just disrupt or stun people straight into it here.
Was that a little double damage rune I just spotted there? Okay.
He might not be a universal hero, but he still has 4 agi game.
He, sadly, for Quest, Roshan is not going to be up for another minute, because this would be a dream time takedown.
To be honest, I don't feel like they've been angling for these Roshans this game.
No, they definitely didn't with that first one, right? They gave that up
Yeah, they
higher.
leave it up. And I don't know if that's something that should have happened. I think they were in a commanding position to take that. Find the Golem as Zai ults to get away from Noob. Cannot save the Frost Giant.
A lot of waves is being pushed in. It's, you know, an Ember Spirit was hitting it. It's just creeps now, so nothing major damage, but...
They have this Lycan shard. This spawning wolf.
Yeah, the cripple is so annoying for these towers.
It is devastating. You have to send Terrorblade Illusions down here to deal with it, as they're waiting for Roche. Now they have set up for it and want to claim this.
Roshan is going to be up in 15 seconds. Shapeshift is going to be on cooldown, so it is hard for Liquid to contest, I think.
You also keep in mind...
Oh, the Axe is done for Insania.
It could be big. You have to keep in mind the Rubik Shard and the Disruption.
Sure.
So Quest have answers to it. It's not just an end-all, be-all. Still, you never know, right? Even 2 seconds of someone not being able to BKB or something can make the difference in a fight. Roche looks like it'll go down to Quest here as they have level 20 for Noob. So Snapfire, he's starting to pick up some of the slack here.
Liquid's not going to get there in time, and there's far too much vision from Quest. Once this Moonlight Shadow and Smoke breaks.
You can still take the fight on a ward.
Yeah, they've got this ward on the right-hand side here they're going to play off of.
20 seconds for Lycan ult, though.
But look at Noob, he's leading the charge here with this Silver
very
Edge.
aggressive.
Breaks the smoke. He's picking it. Play back to the side. They have this nice ward. Slight change. It's going to be... Oh, nice arrow! Got him on the side, putting 2 minutes of force. The Hydra on the head. He's out on the mid-game. They're in trouble. He gets off the BKB. He works around the lifesteal. Look at him go. Now he does need to keep hitting. Otherwise, he's going to be in trouble against TA2000. Top Commander trying to run himself away.
Don't let
down Telgan. He's his black
shotgun.
I Noob. Nisha now has to get out at this point in time. Slide jump away to his remnant. Liquid are going to be losing more heroes. Surely somebody's going to die off this. Nisha got Noob. He's got the kisses. They got the scythe on him. Double pickup for Noob.
6 scythes by Amar. Really just putting this fight on his back. And the buyback from Amar, very impactful to get the final lift on the Morphling. I mean, he's Satanic's up, but there's nothing to ult.
Look what they did, though, in the bottom and mid lane. And then Zai immediately pushed down top as well.
They got the lanes in.
It's kind of like that game, too, at the very end where they're just like, we lost the fight, but screw it. Like, you're not going to get to our base in time.
I mean, this gold swing was not huge for Quest. They got Aegis out of it. They put it on the Terrorblade. I think they used the cheese on somebody. So overall, it's not like some gaining or losing fight for Liquid.
Yeah, I think
it's just
you might have used it.
Mickey could not find the Brood. He wanted to ult the Brood, so he ended up not using it on anybody and just never found Amar. Amar did a really good job, basically just playing on the outskirts, letting his Terrorblade sit there and hit him and be like, all right, you want to trade with my Terrorblade or you want to find me and ult me? I'm going to make you decide, and that decision was too hard in the moment.
And I think a big part of that was Noob starting off at the very start, like silver edging into Liquid, right? Like you got to present some targets, you got to get some information.
They had a really good ward too.
Yeah, that
ward
part.
Sentry saw Mickey that just set all that up. Quest, they just had the better angle. Better angles win you team fights. Winning team fights wins you games.
Okay, it's going to use the Morph now to turn into the Terrorblade. Start pushing out that bottom lane with his own illusions. This is going to be annoying to end for Quest, that's for certain.
I also love that. Dude, Amar is such a weird player. Like, I feel like people sometimes don't appreciate how weird he is.
Yeah.
He's taken stats on Brood over 2 of these talents. I refuse to believe a stat point is worth more than even the level 20 35 attack speed. Or like, you know, 3 extra webs for 2 stats. It's such a like, I'm gonna carry the game mindset. Just every stat is so important to him. I'm not even saying it's wrong, it's just, I don't think I've seen any other Brood skip 2 talents by level 20 for stats. On a Brood that's not even necessarily right-clicking people.
No, he's not. He went for a side
He has Hex Lincoln's, like, do you need the extra?
Maybe that's why he's going for the stats and not the
maybe.
He's like, I just need 2 more strength.
I don't know, I feel like this level 10 talent is not that bad. Either way, I think it's hilarious the things he does. They work out for him. He's an absolute monster. Definitely a very unique player.
Look at Nisha. I mean, we talked about the Ember Spear and the Orb of Corrosion being able to hit tier 1 towers down. All these Embers would just constantly take the mid tower first because of that. He's doing this on a tier 3.
I mean, the Rat is definitely going to work. Like, these hard wolves are really pushing in the lanes.
Now that they force heroes back, they're immediately going to Moonlight Shadow and Smoke.
Yeah, they just finished an AC on the Lycan, so you have AC and Shiva's advantage over Quest here. which they have double Hex. Another one picked up for Noob.
I'm practically expecting Zai to like run straight to bottom lane or something.
You never know. Let's see Quest commit to a bad team fight. You might just be able to backdoor rat them here. The damage is crazy. Single target focus from Liquid. Not one condition that's out of question. This game is dead even at the 40-minute mark. A 1K gold difference and a 3-level difference.
Yeah, they've got Aegis on Quest, but they're the ones being pushed in right now.
They just can't get the lane down. I don't think Amar is confident enough to stay on the lane alone anymore, and I don't think... Like, he has all these webs up, but he doesn't really have them in a one location that he's occupied and force Liquid to go into him. They're just coming down to Quest smoking and trying to find the pickoff, and every time that happens, you have these stupid wolves pushing in one lane, you have some Manta Morphling illusions pushing in another, and Liquid are not getting caught. You just lose lane control. Then you have to go back and push the lanes back out.
Yeah, we saw like probably like 2 or 3 minutes ago, 2 of them on Quest were circling kind of like they wanted to contain Liquid, but they haven't gotten to that point.
Noob is gonna have to use these bots. And he's cleaning up Wolves top. He can join the fight. Again, Liquid successful dodge. The ratting continues. There's
that an Overlord creep? I see it.
Yeah, there it is. That is a black dragon cutting wave
there he goes.
This game is just, it's becoming unpushable for Quest. It can't get a straight 5-on-5 with that Aegis. It expires without being used.
Why do I feel like this tournament would be different if AUI 2000 wasn't in it?
I don't know if you can put all this on him. I think that's a little unfair.
I mean, I'm just saying, you introduce these concepts, you know, more players are like, I should do that next time.
It's almost like the Dota people just forget about it.
Yeah.
Until someone reminds them, and then everybody starts doing it. Like aggressive force stabs, things like that. But yeah, maybe AUI is responsible, actually. You know what? We'll pin it all on him. It's your fault.
It's your fault.
Curtis.
Crimson Guard complete for the Lycan, a late one. Very interesting.
It is pretty interesting. It's just more physical mitigation. Liquid feels like if they can control the armor, control the right-click battles, that they're going to win the game.
Yeah, I mean, trust that the Morphling damage, which is overpowered, will carry you through the fight. You just have to survive through the initiation.
I mean, it's overpowered if he finds the Brood.
Yes. Yes.
That is a big question. Will he find the Brood? Because that last fight, he did not. But pretty good angle here. He's a high ground obs.
Good angle if Amar isn't the one to be spotted.
I mean, Liquid, you have a choice. Do you want to fight this or you want to get the hell out?
Yeah, they're pushed into a corner. This could go very, very bad or very, very good, depending on what they find. Amar blinks into them, and they've already got the pick off onto the Rubik. Turned into a piggy, though.
Ember
did
on the
not
back.
get the shapeshift off.
Ember and Noob having their own one-on-one. Nisha is in no man's land.
And the rest of Liquid can back up into him now because Quest had to go defend their base. So now these heroes are in the middle of no man's land. Fiori is going to try and TP away. They spot him and they get him with the sight.
Both supports gone for Quest off that weird flank from Nisha that put them in an awkward position. They didn't know if they wanted to help. They didn't know if they wanted to man up the hill with Mar.
Yeah.
Chose either lose 2 heroes, lose some map control,
Lose range barracks.
Wolves. The Wolves do not care about your armor.
Okay, you've got the triple little shredder shot now, so that'll give you
Oh, he actually got to level 25.
faster lane shove and much more intense team fight damage. He just needs actual damage items to back it up.
He needs like one more Daedalus here or something.
Yeah.
He was going to be a real threat. Also, that shard went through. Amar definitely happy about that one. And finally took that level 20 talent as there's no more stats left to take. He will be forced into taking 35 attack speed. Wow. Must feel so bad.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice stat to pick up, I guess. What is this? They go through and head towards Roshan here, but you can see Quest gonna push out to it as well.
Radiant Roche, that means Radiant buybacks.
But it is gonna switch over in a minute. So Quest,
Yeah, they also don't have any on Liquid. Like, they pretty much all bought out right now. Only Boxy.
and also Liquid did fine the last time they gave up the Aegis, so is this something you want to fight to the death for? Harold lands onto Amar, and they break through the Lincolns. They're gonna be able to warp into him here, but they got the sides on to mid-game. Nice pass, he's dead. 90 seconds. seconds. No buyback. A chance for Quest to not just take Roshan, but maybe take so much more.
He did not respect the hex that can come out from Omar on top of that cliff.
No, he did not.
Maybe they lost vision for a split second or thought that fight was going to go different.
He's going for it
Yeah,
immediately.
he knows what his move is. Run the Iron Wolf up mid lane and start threatening something, even if it costs you your life here.
I mean, his shapeshift is already down, so he may not get that much out of it.
Ran a big range creep in to try and stall something. However, Quest have gotten to your base. They still have meta up. Amar is in.
Yeah, he was set up immediately. The BKB does go off. They get a flip back onto him. Glimmer Cape. Oh, it's gonna last.
Amar's in trouble.
Cape's gonna be able to help him out. Amar is in trouble. He's in so damn deep. Disruption buys him a little bit of time here.
Terror wave.
Terror wave over the top. Anisha jumped over it and got the kill onto Amar.
What have you done? What have you done, son?
His aggression has been a boon for Quest, but here it might have been a downfall.
He just doesn't have detection or dispel on this stupid Glimmer Cape. It's ruined him so hard in so many of these fights. Just buy some dust or something. I don't know.
I mean, a different Amar, a different game, he would have Nullifier, and he'd be
now he buys dust.
Kills.
I agree. The itemization, it's not worked out for his solo jumps. He'll finally have to buy dust here. Probably something Amar has never wanted to do in his life. He probably had to find it in the shops. As what is this trash support item?
Into the search bar,
He probably had to tell him it existed. Now Nisha, level 25 himself.
Oh, no, spotted out Curie, but he does have the self-purge, so we got rid of the chains, Glimmer Cape.
Yeah, but he had to go back to base to deal with the waves.
He did.
With
So
Anna
they're
opening.
outnumbered.
And there's no meta, no terror waves.
Light chains, arrow off of it.